Hey guys, so what we're going to do today is just a general discussion. Uh, so we're going to talk about data types. We're going to talk about imaginations. Okay. So as you know, everything is related to data. You must have data so that you can act upon that data and then produce something, right? Then return something, then calculate something, right? And that's the reason that you basically, if you have a list of values, right? It's a reason why do you put a list of values, right? It's the reason why would you put objects in a list of value, right? So you have to understand how in which time you're going to put a list of values. So for example, if I'm getting I'm calculating something and I did calculation on numbers and then I want to save that, and then I need to return all my calculations, so I might just put it in a list, right? This is the reason. And then you're also encapsulating uh, data through creating your own data type. So for example, you think that a dictionary, a hash map, is basically it encapsulates, right? Capsule. What is a capsule? Something that puts something like a jar, right? Like a box. So that's why a hash map is the same thing. It's a data container which has a key, and this key has a value, and that value can be anything that you like. It can be an object, it can be a list of values, it can be another dictionary, another hash map, anything. And then you have a B, and here you are with the B. The values can be anything. These can also be string or integer, and it's encapsulated, right? So for example, if you're the omelette example we have, basically you want to make an omelette. How do you transform this idea of omelette into code? So for example, I have all those ingredients that we have. I might just create my own objects, right, with its own properties. These are bunch of variables. So I might have onion. So for example, I have a name attribute, name, what is this, right? I might have size of it. I might have other attributes. Let's call it x1, x2. This is my one object. In the same way, you will have another object. In the same way, will have an onion object. In the same way, you will have a potato object. In the same way, you have an eggs object, right? So very primitive. And then you see now I can put this in a list. But most important is that you should be able to decipher and create your objects based on your imagination. So, for example, a user can say there is a function and that says make omelette, right? Make omelette function. How many omelets? It takes an integer value, one omelette, right? And then you can initiate this thing. Of course, I can also initiate a list of values of onion and potato and let's suppose eggs and pepper, right? Pepper. And this is also my imagination. I converted my imagination to string value. That's one part. But I can also convert my imagination to an object value. That is how you have to think. And when we start a little, I'll plan that we should code a little bit. I'll explain to you. So just think in terms of encapsulating different data. So for example, a data type is nothing. It's nothing. It's a bunch of variables. For example, you say, well, I have a human data type, right? A human, for example, or a mobile phone. So you might say that I might say the type, I might say that the type of my this type, I might say let's suppose model, I might say company who made it, I might say year, and the moment you create a class, it encapsulates it. This is an object of your phone now. And now you can initiate this object, create an instance of it, and go for having your phone. Because the phone is an imagination, it's an object that we see, but in computers, in programming term, you will create an object of it, just like a string is a data type, integer is a data type, float is a data type. That's how you will create your data type. So start thinking about this, keep imagining, and keep coding. Thank you.